Hi, this is Terry Lopez Preuss, NBCT. Driving home from a fabulous day of equity training work. Probably the very best event, workshop, training, conference I've ever experienced in Broward County. This was on a level of a national conference. We had amazing equity warriors. Pedro Aguirre from UCLA. We had Glenn Singleton. We had Tony White, the UTD VP. Thanks, Tony. And President Fusco introduced him. Woo woo. We learned a lot over the course of the equity work. I'm going under a tunnel right now, so it's dark. In the course of our equity work, we have done some amazing connecting. We've had some courageous conversations about race, which was Glenn Singleton's book and course that we all took together. We spent 4 long and intensive days of training in Broward, and my book was actually given to every one of the equity liaisons. So 350 of my books, Voices in the Hall, are going out to educators and equity warriors and equity liaisons in Broward County. What I realized is that my book was equity work. I didn't know it at the time, but I was in a classroom where I suddenly realized that there was a lot I didn't know about the kinds of kids I was teaching and about what I needed to know in order to be able to teach them. And I started a journaling program, and from that program grew Voices in the Hall, my book, which featured writings from my students and their truths that they unveiled and unfolded in the course of the time I spent with them as a dropout prevention teacher. So I feel really grateful because I feel like this is a shifting moment for me. I wrote the book in 2000. It sat in a drawer for 10 years. In 2010, I had a car accident. I was home for a while and pulled it out of the drawer and read it and thought, you know, this isn't about me. This is about these students. And I decided to publish it. And I've done a lot of circling around again with my students, touching base. Some of these kids that I taught who were troubled students, failed multiple times, misunderstood. Some of them are police officers and nurses, and some of them are behind bars, and I keep in touch with many of them. And shout out to all of my students who I have loved and who've loved me. I thank you for what you've brought to my life. I thank you for opening my eyes to what needs to happen, which is that educators and politicians, lawmakers need to listen to your voices, because some kids are sitting in our classrooms today and are just misunderstood, and we don't know what to do for them. But with the equity work that we've begun in Broward County, Broward is going to be one of the leaders in the country. We are on the frontier of something magnificent happening in our human consciousness, and I'm just happy to be at the epicenter of it, along with people like David Watkins and Tom Albano and Mickey Pope and so many others, countless names that you couldn't possibly mention. But I know that my work as a circle keeper and as an equity liaison and as an author of a book, little book with a big heart, is going to really make a difference in people's lives. And I'm grateful that as the vice president of the Broward Teachers Union, I have a president who believes in equity work, and we are going to partner with those in the equity program in Broward schools, and President Anna Fusco is going to support this work along with the leaders in our county. And I know that with the connections made today, we are going to be leaders in this work on a national level. So I'm really grateful, and I want to just say thank you to all my students who changed my life, and thank you for all of my mentors and teachers who have opened my eyes to the work that needs to be done. Thank you.